Bhagava Arahang Samma Samputo Sawakato Yena Bhagavata Tammo Subati Panno Yasa Bhagavato Sawaka Sanko Tamayang Bhagavantang Satamang Sasanghang Imehi Sakarehi Yatarang Naro Pitehi Apiputayama Satu no Pante Pakawa Sutira Parini Putapi Pachima Jana Nukampamana Sa Ime Sakare Tukatapana Karapute Patiganatu Ammakam Dikaratangitaya Sukaya Arahang Sama Samputo Pakawa Putang Pakawantang Apiwatemi Akahato Pakawata Tamo Tamasami Subati Pano Sawaka Sanko Sanghang Namami Satu Satu. Good evening, Kathy. And Radine. Good afternoon for songs from Eric Burdon, isn't it? How come yet once again my screen looks funny? Like funny. Oh, you're so funny.
Hey guys, in today's video, I'll show you the key features of our Be a Vibe H6.
Okay, I'll come back to you, sir. All right, back to the show. All right, so welcome. It is July 1st. We made it. We made it to July. I'm not going to say successfully because the crap hit the fan in the Supreme Court and we got lots of trouble, but including the biggest problem is I'm wearing the same shirt as yesterday because the only time I left the house was to go to Costco and to mow the lawn. And mowing the lawn took everything out of me. So at some point, I'm going to find out why my screens have altered, if they altered. You know, I don't know. Maybe there's something, yeah, they altered. Anyways, all right, where was I? Tamko panapakawantang ewan kaligano kitisato apukato iti piso pakawa arang sama samputo wicha charana sampano sukato lokawitu anutaro puri satamasarati sata tewamanusanam puto pakawati. Evening chant. That's just one chant of about a dozen done by the Buddhist monks in Thai temples all over the world every night. They're pretty much, with some slight modifications, all are doing the same chants. In the morning, same thing. I'm not as acquainted with the chants as I used to be because I used to chant, of course, when I lived in the temple in Arizona, and then when I lived in the temple in Thailand, chant every day. Except we did not, I don't think we chanted necessarily on days when we hiked in Tucson, one day a week. And then in Thailand, let's see, did we ever not chant? The only time we didn't chant is when we left the temple grounds at, say, 4:30 in the morning to go on a day trip. So, all right. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Kathy and Chris, Radine. I bet Becky's out there somewhere, and Kathy. And you're all welcome to join in the fun here. The title tonight is Bone Tired because I'm bone tired. I really am. And you know what? I got my new electric lawnmower. And Kathy Corsi asked yesterday or the day before, did it have lights? And I said, I saw some with lights, but I didn't get one with lights. Well, if you look on my Facebook, indeed, the one I acquired, does have lights. Why? I know not. Kind of looks cool. It's got headlights. My electric lawnmower has headlights. Damned if I know. If you're listening on YouTube tonight or anytime, welcome to the party, to the podcast. You're welcome to interact, I think. I noticed that on my YouTube, let's see, there hasn't been any, let's see, can I get a readout? No. I don't know, man. You know, the screens are changing on me, and I don't know why, and it's troublesome. So if you're on YouTube, I'm not ignoring you, and you're welcome to comment, but the comment line disappeared, but I don't know where it went. So I can't correct it because I didn't do it. I just keep doing the same thing time after time, and something happens that modifies the deal, and I would fix it. I really would if I had a clue how these things disappear. Yeah, no, doesn't give me any insight into how I can modify my YouTube screen so I can accept comments. But I can accept comments on Facebook, my Facebook page. You're welcome. It's a public Facebook page. Doesn't matter. Anybody can look at it. Kathy, you were joking, huh? I didn't know you were joking, but guess what? Yo soy luz on mi lawnmower. Becky wants to know if you're going to put a rearview mirror on the lawnmower. No, I'm not going to. Becky is making a reference to my bicycles. All my bicycles have rearview mirrors. Again, all my bicycles, all 4 of my bicycles have rearview mirrors. I am down with rearview mirrors when I'm riding and something can be behind me. Now, if I felt there was any potential to either one, getting run over while mowing the lawn, or in the alternative, being assaulted while I'm mowing the lawn, I would get me a rearview mirror. But we know a car is probably not going to run me over because I'm on my lawn. As to the assault, who attacks somebody while they're mowing the lawn? Somebody that wants to mow the lawn for you? I doubt it, right? Okay, so I'm not too concerned about it. Kathy Peterson has raised my ire, not against her, but I do want to declare that I am perturbed that the Chicago, the Art Museum, what do they call it? The Art Institute of Chicago has a gift from my family that sits in the museum. When we were in the wrecking business, my father and uncle salvaged some very nice etched glass doors, large etched glass doors. Not a lot around, I guess, and so they donated to the Art Institute of Chicago. I didn't know this until I ran across it in the Art Institute. But what troubles me is Kathy was there today. She knows the exhibit. She's been there with me, and boom chakalaka. There is, the doors are there, but not the plaque. Something about museums and me, we're going to go to town, man. The Art Institute, the Mexican Arts Museum, and any other museum that gets in my way. It's Art Deco. Thank you, Kathy. That's why it's there. Someone wanting to steal my lawnmower, Chris, can actually have my lawnmower. While I'll fight to the death for my e-bike, the lawnmower wasn't expensive enough to fight over. But, you know, the lawnmower like the one depicted that I post on Facebook ran me, I don't know, $300, maybe, something like that. So we won't kill over a lawnmower. But so we'll probably refrain. You know, now that you've said it about putting a rearview mirror on, I have some spare rearview mirrors, I think, around here. It might be cute to do that. Here's the problem, though. My lawnmower folds. Dig it. Check it out. Let me say it again. My lawnmower folds. Okay? Let me explain why that is. I can store it instead of storing it like this and taking up room in the garage. I can fold the handle, turn it up, and it only takes space like that. So it might be cumbersome were I to endeavor to put a rear view mirror on it. Then when I'm folding it and doing all that, I might break the mirror. And, rear view mirror should not be broken, frankly. So back to the show. Oh, that was the show. The show is whatever is happening between you and I at any one moment. Silly people, follow the bouncing ball. The bouncing ball bounced from lawnmowers to museums to lawnmowers to rearview mirrors. You people are sharp as a tack. I know you got this. So I know you can follow along if you want to. So if you put a mirror on, you will have to put a horn or a bell. So Kathy Green just raised the issue. And here's why I thought for a second it might be cute to have a rear view mirror on, Kathy. My mother had a horn on her walker at the center where she lived. My brother-in-law thought it would be cute. I never saw another walker, and I've seen many walkers, by the way. My mom lived in a sea of walkers. She was the only one that had a meep, meep horn on her handlebar. So that's when somebody said, are you going to put a rearview mirror on there? That's why I thought, might be kind of cute. All right. I'm getting wired up. But here, let me back up before I tell you about how wired I am. Let's talk about the important stuff first, and then we'll prioritize. Okay. I got up this morning. I get up very early on Thursdays because I have to get over to the AA club and open up about 6:20 so that people can get in who want to meditate with me. And we had about 5 or 6 people in person, most of whom had not appeared in person before. And so that was kind of cool. And then I went immediately to the meeting. And then immediately after the meeting, came home and made breakfast. And I got this bug up my butt. I should do the lawn. Not because I wanted to do the lawn. And certainly not because it was cool out, because it was already too late. Here's the deal. I decided that here's something that happens. I buy something in anticipation of needing it. And some of you probably have done this, but you don't need it just yet. And it arrives. And so by the time you unpackage it and use it and discover there's a problem, you have a problem returning it, because if it's the standard return policy of 30 days or even less sometimes, you've just you didn't even try it during the return period. So that's why I decided, really, I mean, it wasn't that I didn't need to vacuum. I didn't need to vacuum at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:15 in the morning, and burn myself, right? But I really wanted to see if this thing worked. Now, immediately, I take it out into the alley, and I try to fire it up, and the bad boy doesn't fire up. It doesn't fire up, and I'm thinking, oh, man, this is my second electric lawnmower. Oh, let me tell you about the first one. The first one that I had, the Sunjoe, well, here's the thing. I used it successfully one time. The second time, it over-revved repeatedly. That is, the motor sped up too much. And so I contacted them, and I said, and they said, well, we need to check it out. So do this, do that. Now turn it on. Well, I couldn't turn it on in my living room. Got to go out in the alley, turn it on. And say, like, okay, we're sending you a new one. So they're sending me a new one, which I'm going to get to Ricky. So I got the other one, and I'm thinking, 2 in a row don't work. This sucks. And I couldn't find the manual, so I called them. Lovely lady. She's troubleshooting. Mr. Goldberg, will you please? Dun, 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 dun. Yes, I did. Okay. Yes, I'll do it again. Yes, thank you. All right, I've done that, lady. Now what? Okay, try again. No, it didn't work. Well, here's what happened. She was giving me instructions, and I was not following them properly. I thought I was. And then something hit that what she's saying and what I'm doing are not really matching. So I did figure out what she was telling me to do. I did that. Bad boy fired right up, went out. Now, I've lost almost 40 minutes trying to start the freaking thing, okay? That's why it was so hot. And I got out and I mowed everything. And then when you mow, those of you that mow your own lawns, have you noticed that when you mow, it's almost impossible not to go out and then use your weed whacker or an edger to create a nice clean line? You've done, and you've got the grass looking okay, and now the edges look raggedy because they're spilling over on your sidewalk and stuff. So now, and also along the garden, along my flowers. So I go and I get the weed whacker, and that's all another thing. That's another half hour, man, of creating the edge and making it all look good. And I'm sweating, man. I've changed clothes, by the way. I came in because I was sweating up and put on a dirty shirt and went back out. Okay, now I've done that. I'm done. I'm ready to rest. Okay. You know what? I better get out the blower and blow some of this debris off. And I need to sweep the side yard because I've got gravel there and it's getting scattered around. I need to finish this job. So I came in the house and fell out, man. I took a shower because I'm covered in grass and dirt and gravel stuff. And anybody who's ever used a weed whacker, you know, sooner or later something's going to smack you in the ankle, the shin, and you're going to be like, darn it. So anyways, I was out for the day, thus bone tired. Now you know I got to be bone tired. Took a nap, got up, decided I don't want to spend the day in bed, but that's where I'm going to spend it. The Tour de France is on. I can sit here and watch the Tour de France, goes on for quite a while. I don't need to put myself through this. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm the only way to beat this is to get out of the house. So I did. I went to Costco, and you should hire someone to do the lawn. I've thought about it, Kathy, but my lawn is so small, and they want the same price for my lawn as they want for a big lawn. So I go to Costco, and I'm wearing a mask now because my sister has 3 friends, she said, got COVID from each other, and they were all vaccinated. They're older, and they've got symptoms. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me just go back to wearing a mask. So most of you now know I've been wearing the mask upside down. Why? I mean, there's an obvious look to it. Why did I wear my mask at that? Doesn't matter. And then I proudly take my picture and I promote wearing mask, right? And of course, everybody says, dude, the mask is upside down. Oh, embarrassing. And so I went to the dentist office after I left Costco, and I walk in, and while I'm waiting to see her, I look and I see the comments, and I tell the dentist, oh man, what do I do? This is embarrassing, you know? And we conspired and said, well, I should just get on Facebook and said, it was a joke, you know? And I said, that's what I need to do, you know, to spare myself the embarrassment, but I don't ever spare myself. So I just took a new picture with it turned up right side up, posted it. Now, I wanted to delete the picture of me with the stupid mask upside down, and Facebook won't let me. It will not let me delete the stupid photo. So now you know how those photos got there. Anyways, between the dentist and Costco and whatever else I did, stopping at the UPS store for a Sonata pack, I came back home and I didn't have any energy to look for music or any of the stuff that you normally do. Kathy's absolutely right, and I did think about hiring someone to do the lawn, but you know, I shopped around. $35 every 2 weeks. That's twice in a month. That's $70 times a year. That's $840. Anybody knows me knows that for $840, I'll come do your lawn, right? So I'm going to continue to do it for the time being. Here's the trick. You got to get out early. It's like bicycling. You got to get the F out early while it's cool and do these things and don't do them when it's hot and humid, or at least don't start when it's already hot and humid. For God's sakes, people, have some common sense. How hard does it have to be to go, oh, look, it's going to be very hot today. I either better do this quick or don't do it. Right? Okay. So, Kathy Peterson, I wrote a letter to Carlos at the Mexican Arts Museum and asked him once again to take my name down off the wall and replace it with Gary Corsi's name at my expense. And if he turns me down yet again, I'm going to disavow the Mexican Arts Museum in Pilsen, the city of Chicago. I'm really standing firm on this. By the way, I didn't read this out loud. I saw this. I should read it out loud. That Chris had light on his walker. My mom had a horn. Chris trumps that. He had lights on his walker. I don't think I've ever seen lights on a walker. Why Chris had lights on his walker, perhaps he'll post and explain it to us. But I think it's enough that he did it and that there is a video of it. It was 95 when you finished your ride. Well, I don't mind bicycling in the heat because I'm creating a breeze, but I didn't get a breeze going when I was pushing the lawnmower. None. I couldn't push the lawnmower fast enough to get a breeze going. So please give me a good bicycle ride. And by the way, it's a holiday weekend, and my holiday rider goes out to Lake Texoma. So if you want to cruise north with me for a Saturday, Sunday, or Monday or something during the holiday, let me know. Come on up here. We'll take a cruise. You can use my e-bike if you want. Nobody will call you a sissy. Yes, sissy. All right. So let's talk politics because you got to. Because on July 1st, 3 days short of the Independence Declaration of the United States, the Supreme Court has upheld that Arizona can, in fact, burden voters as long as they haven't really made it clear that they're burdening one side more than the other, even though it may have a disparity of effect. The fact that there's nothing indicate its intention to suppress votes was enough for the Supreme Court to vote 6-3. You think the Supreme Court nominees and candidates and appointments aren't important? Well, then you're a dumb fuck, okay? You think that Obama was a good president when he allowed Merrick Garland to not be appointed to the bench? Then you're a dumb, okay? Barack Obama screwed America for tens of years. I don't care what your sentiment about him as a president. He was a placeholder. He was nothing but a placeholder. He had no progressive agenda. He didn't promote the progressive agenda. He didn't do anything for marijuana smoking. He didn't do anything for gays. And he certainly didn't do anything for those of us that were looking for some protection from an oppressive Supreme Court, which in large measure regulates. It's the only check and balance you really have against a legislature which is predominantly run by the Republicans. And the Democrats have also decided that they're going to have a select committee to investigate 9/11. Sounds good on paper, right? It's all show and tell. No matter what they discover at this point, it's too late. They're not going to persuade anybody. They could subpoena the records of all these people, and they could come forward and say, listen, we had a conspiracy. Louis Gohmert, Boebert, Marjorie Greene Taylor, they were all in on it, and the Republicans will poo-poo it, and the Democrats won't do anything about it. Tough day to be a Democrat in the United States of America. Tough day to be a liberal. Tough day to be a progressive liberal. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to take for Democrats to wake up. They need to increase the number of judges. They need to pass term limits on judges. They need to stop the stranglehold that the Republican Party has wielded over the U.S. government under the Obama administration, the Trump administration, and now the Biden administration. Whether they've been the minority party or the majority party, they have directed the priorities of the U.S. government in its foreign affairs and domestic affairs. That's not the only decision the Supreme Court came out with. Look it up, kids. We shouldn't wallow in misery. We shouldn't play in the mud. Let's not. And if you think it's good news, and it's not bad news, that the Trump organization has been indicted along with its CEO or whatever he is, CFO, Weiselberg. Again, it's show and tell, man. Unless you put that pinche cabrón in prison, which rarely happens in a tax case. You typically, in a tax case, you get financial remuneration from the defendants, especially from a company. You can't lock a company up, frankly. Okay. Can you lock up Weiselberg? You could. It would probably be unusual. You'd have to show more something along the lines of racketeering in a tax case than a simple, I avoided paying taxes. It just doesn't happen unless you're Wesley Snipes or somebody. So, and no matter what you do right now to these people, Trump's got the ear of 73 million people, and he'll say it's just a witch hunt, and they'll believe it. As long as McCarthy and McConnell continue to tout the Trumpist lies and the Trumpist agenda, 73 million people who voted for a Republican candidate for president will continue to overwhelmingly believe that we're lying, we stole the election, and everything we do to the Republicans about January 6th, about the Trump malfeasance and criminal activities, the members of his cabinet that committed crimes, it's all going to be treated as a witch hunt, and we are not going to get the satisfaction we deserve. We deserve satisfaction as citizens of the United States, as taxpayers, as lifelong citizens and taxpayers. We deserve justice as much or more than any of these sleazy politicians. So, but I will be interested to know about Gommert and Boebert and all those people. I'm curious to know what participation they had in creating an atmosphere of conspiracy around the attack on the Capitol. Not because they're going to pay for it. I just want to know. But they should all just pretty much just, I don't know, get heart attacks in their sleep, die. I don't know. What would make this country better? Certainly, Mitch McConnell has no intention of making this an American by ideology of democracy. That's not their intention. Their intention is power at any price, and they've purchased that power, and they're clinging to that power. And while the Democrats continue to play patty cake, they're getting hit with baseball bats when they're patty cake, bake me a cake, it's fat. Boom! Oh crap! What happened to patty cake? Yeah, they ain't playing no patty cake with you, bitch. All right, so moving right along again. See how we just keep moving. If you keep moving, you're not as easy a target. When I'm out mowing the lawn, if somebody wants to steal my lawnmower, they're going to have to catch me because I am constantly in motion when I'm out mowing the lawn. You dig what I'm saying? I'm not a target. I'm not just standing there, you know. I'm not like a piece of paper at the gun range where you can just take your shots. No. You got to catch me, you know. And I got news for you. You creep up on me, and I got my lawnmower with me. Shoot, chances you getting away with your feet intact, very slim, man. I wouldn't hesitate to run over both your feet a couple of times. Matter of fact, if you ain't quick, yeah, baby. I know what I'm talking about. Sheer, unadulterated violence. I'm ready to commit sheer, unadulterated violence to protect what is mine. And that lawnmower is mine. I said earlier it wasn't expensive enough to protect at any cost. But I got news for you. If I'm standing there with it, I'm going to take it personal if you try to take that lawnmower from me, and I'm going to cut your toes. Yep, that's right. All right, so where did we leave off? So let me see. I got an important text, and it's got to do with meeting. What do you call it? The Hyde Park troop, right? So I'm getting ready to go to Chicago at the end of the month. Kind of excited. Trying not to be excited because, every time I get excited, it's kind of an opportunity. What do they say? Expectations are resentments under construction. The days when I don't run around with expectations, I just kind of show up. The day goes okay. I'm in a place of acceptance. When I get excited and a little agitated, I'm going to see my friends I haven't seen. I'm going to see Kathy. I'm going to see Kathy. I'm going to see Bill. I'm going to see Jimmy. So, right? Then something happens. The weather is bad that day or whatever. And so I call my sister, and right out of the box, she says, you're probably not going to be able to stay with me that week. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, you can't argue. It's not my house. I can't say, well, of course I can stay with you. No. She has other priorities. She's got a daughter that's going to need to stay there with her boyfriend, I guess. And so I'm going to have to stay somewhere else. I'll find some place to stay. Ricky will let me stay with him. It's just going to be, he's way out on the west side. She's way out on the north side. Oh, so what were we talking about? How did I get why am I telling you about my sister? Ain't none of your business what my sister says to me. Y'all need to mind your own business. Know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. I'm regrouping. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Okay? You ready? Let's rock it, man.
Myself down to rest in a big tall field of Mexico.
Wait, in my own defense, Becky, I'm not going to slit their throat. I'm going to cut off their toes. I'm going to cut off their toes with the very lawnmower they may seek to take from me. I'm going to use that very lawnmower to just run over their feet and chop their little feet up into little bitty pieces. And I'm going to use those little bitty pieces like fertilizer. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to leave them right there in the grass. Let all that little stuff just deteriorate over a period of days, decompose, and it's going to act like fertilizer on my grass. Flowers are going to spring up everywhere there once was a toe. If there's 10 toes, there'll be 10 flowers. That's all I'm saying, all right? Slitting throat, no, that's for other types of criminal activity. I hope I've clarified my intentions.
Mexican grass. Ooh, yeah. I lay there in the sun and felt it caressing my face as I fell asleep and dreamed.
This is what I'm seeking to have you listen to after
I dreamed I was
podcast tonight, right?
Yes, I did. I was a star of the movie. Now this really blew my mind. It's like that radio.
Spill wine was a jam, but This was jammier than that one was. You know it. You know it. You all know it. You know it's true.
Rooms were so much colder then. My father was a soldier then. Times were very hard when I was young. When I was young. Smoked my first cigarette at 10. And for girls, I had a bad end. But I had quite a ball when I was young.
Right? Everybody was young once. Admit it. You had a big yen. Now, we're going to enter into the scientific part of the show. Don't go anywhere. All right. Becky asserts that she does not think human toes, I assume, is organic. I suggest to you that unless the person is like loaded up on methamphetamine or some other pharmaceutical, I believe the toes will be wholly organic. And I believe that their decomposition into my soil will put in various organic chemicals. And that's why the flowers that will spring up from each toe will actually thrive. I think it's about, I don't think you can get much more organic than human toes, really. Now, I could be wrong because, full disclosure, one, I am not a landscaper or a gardener, okay? I feel I should tell you, full disclosure, I'm not. Another disclosure, I don't know crap about science or chemicals, nothing, okay? This is wholly conjecture on my part, but I think when I embark on a debate of this nature, I should assert, at least in the tone of my voice, I should sound as if I, one, believe what I'm saying, two, that I know what I'm saying. And, 2A or 2B, Section 3, say it with such conviction as to be convincing. So, and Chris agrees with Ken. So there you go. So I was playing drumsticks. I've had these drumsticks for a couple of years, and I don't get to use them very much until recently. I took them out of the drawer, and you know what? I use them on the desk because I don't have a drum set. But while we were playing when I was young, I was playing my buddy. Well, it's not vegan. Becky, on this, I will concede. I had no intention of disagreeing. You're absolutely right. So Becky has made the declaration that human toes would not be vegan. And I think we should all concur and agree that that is absolutely correct. Anyone stealing a lawnmower is on something. Well, I can't disagree with that. Becky, you're on a roll. You're sharp. This is the problem. Becky works for a living. Becky is using her mind. She's engaged. She's been working for a company that she can name or not name for many years, over 30 years. So every day, 5 days a week, she is using her mental faculties. Unlike me, I'm retired. It's been years since I really worked hard. My mind is probably atrophied, and I'm at a disadvantage at this point. But the beautiful thing about it is, through this digital world and this digital communication, you're all able to enjoy this interaction with Becky. You're all able to see a sharp mind coming at you or coming at me. You're more of a spectator, I suppose. You're able to sit and witness what really is a humbling, because I'm not up to the task. There's just way too much thinking, but thank you. Kathy says, just spray them with your hose. Okay, once again, those of you that think you are self-defense experts, I'm pushing a lawnmower. Let's pretend I have my rearview mirror. I see somebody coming up behind me. Kathy, are you suggesting I stop my lawnmower and go get a hose? Or are you suggesting that after I cut off his toes, I hose him down? That makes sense to me. The part about hosing somebody who's probably a meth addict, as Becky has just indicated, who's trying to take my lawnmower from my person, not from the garage, okay? Let me explain to you the law, okay? There are two relevant statutes that pertain to this type of scenario. If somebody breaks into my garage and steals my lawnmower, or I leave my lawnmower in the alley, I forget about it, I come inside for a minute to get a drink of water, somebody steals it, that would be a burglary, okay? A burglary is taking somebody's property without the use of force or from the person. Robbery is to take anything by force from a person. Take your wallet or take your lawnmower from me by force or threat of force is robbery. So if the person is committing the crime of robbery, I'm going to probably be very proactive at that point. Now, if they break into the garage and they're going to drive off or walk off with my thing, I will not shoot them in order to retain my property. I believe that if they can get moving with my property before I catch them. Now, if I catch them in the garage, we got a problem. But if they're already in the alley, have you seen advertisements about being planted with a tree or as a tree, I think is what you're referring to. I've seen these things where they have like this large bulb that contains your remains and they put it into the earth, Kathy, and that becomes a tree. I didn't look deeply into it. I know that it's well received by people like me, people who are concerned about the ecology and the environment, because that does seem organic. Kathy and I agree on that. So Becky will have to ponder that one and explain to us why using our human remains to create a tree is anything less than organic. To which, by the way, Becky is still working on stealing my lawnmower. That blows our plans for when you go out of town. We don't want burglary charges. So, as I suspected all along, Becky, and probably in concert with her husband, Chris, were lusting for my very cool looking white lawnmower with headlights. Kind of looks like a Corvette. If you imagine a Corvette as a lawnmower, right? And so I think we have evidence, indicia, of their intent to abscond with my lawnmower, but it ain't happening, babe. It ain't happening. Because remains are processed. That's not sufficient to explain to me what that means. I don't know what remains are processed means. It was Chris's idea to steal my lawnmower. He won't even ride my e-bike. Why does he want my e-mower? Yes, Chris, it is time for meta, but it's Thursday night, and I'm feeling rebellious now because when we started this, and this is the truth, when we started this at 6 o'clock, I thought to myself, maybe you just don't show up, Ken. You're tired. Just skip the deal, man. You don't have to do this. These people aren't paying you to show up. And I said, well, just do it. Just be low key, get through it. And now look at me, man. I'm wired. I'm wired to the max. I'm ready to take on the lawnmower thieves. I'm ready to play drums on my chest and on my arm. I mean, I'm jacked up, man. It's like somebody shot me with methamphetamine, and all of a sudden you wake up, and all of a sudden you're that guy sitting in the corner, and you're talking, and the rest of the group is like, dude, who gave him that stuff, man? Who gave him the drugs, man? Look at him. The guy's a mess. He's sitting there babbling to himself. Have none of you ever? Come on. You never sat around in a group and somebody had too many drugs. Somebody gave them too many drugs, and now the person's just like rambling like this, and you're like, what is, can somebody get that guy a Xanax? Or, back in the days, could somebody get that guy a Seconal and, put him out of his misery? I'm just saying. All right. I took it right up to 6:45, and I can do that. Now I'm going to meta you. By the way, when we do our evening chant, we do it in Pali. So I want you to put your hands together before your hearts. I want you to bow your head and close your eyes. Okay? And I want you to understand that what I'm about to say is the Pali version of metta. But you can be thinking English. This is how we end the morning chant each day. Aham sukito homi, nituko homi, awiro homi, apayapacho homi, aniko homi, sukiyatanan paraharami, sape sata sukita hontu, sape sata awira hontu, sape sata apayapacha hontu, sape sata anika hontu, sape sata suki atanam pariharantu, sape sata sapatuka pamunchantu, sape sata lata sampatito mawika chantu, sape sata kamasaka, kamatayata, kamayoni, kamapatu, kamapati sarana, yam kamangare santi, kaliyana mwa papakamwa, tasa tayata pawasanti, sape sata sata hontu, awira suki chiwino, katamponya palamaham sape paki pawantu te. So we did it in Pali for once. Nothing wrong with that. Something about chanting. I know you guys don't know how to chant in Pali. Something about chanting, especially in a foreign language, that can be kind of meditative. But here's the bottom line. May you all be free from all suffering, all anxiety, fear. May you all experience good health, resistance to the Delta variant. May you all find peace and comfort, as we would wish for all other living beings, even those who seek to steal our lawnmowers, our belongings, whatever it is. We can send out these blessings universally to all living beings so that those persons or entities we may perceive as dangerous or difficult to us, rattlesnakes, black widow spiders, pumas, whatever they are, I'm sending them genuine wishes that they are safe, happy, and at peace. Satu, Satu, Satu. By the way, I like chanting in Pali. I just don't do it publicly. Thanks, guys. Thanks for showing up. I'm going to just go chill. Apparently, I need to chill because, man, this podcast got completely out of control. Bye, guys. Thanks.